Hello, everyone. Welcome to Pillow Talk Unplugged with Stacy. And tonight is going to be an awesome show. I have a very special guest tonight that we have a lot to unplug. Our topic for tonight is the common challenges of pH balance, the known and unknown. So when we unfold all of these topics, I'm telling you, you will learn lots of information. Women and men will understand the body more, and we'll be able to have an open discussion about pH balance. So thank you so much for tuning in. I am Stacy. I am the host of Pillow Talk Unplugged, and I also own Seychelles Essence Spa, which is located in downtown Hampton, Virginia. So if you're ever in the area, stop by and see me. So I'm going to bring on my guest tonight. Hello. how,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Stacy. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for taking time out your day to tune into Pillow Talk Unplug. So today we're going to
Absolutely.
unplug a lot of different things and touch on some stuff. So sometimes we have guests that come in and they engage with us so that way we can, to be able to go, to be able to talk with them and we learn from each other and we'll go from there. So tell us, tell me a little bit tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
All right. Okay. My name is Kiki. I am a professional physique competitor for the OCB division. I received my pro card in 2021. I also have my own business. It's called Holistic Nutrition and Wellness, Whole New You, and pretty much focus on wellness and using holistic practices. For example, letting food be your medicine versus taking any pharmaceuticals. So I believe God placed everything here that we need to have a healthy life, and that includes our food and our herbs and our supplements that have been made out of those foods and herbs. I also have a positively teas business going on. This one's called I Am Enough, based on the scripture in Psalms 139 and 14. The scripture talks about I'm full, filthily and wonderfully made. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to help people. My passion is to help people and to give back to people. I believe that we go through things in life to give back and to help someone else.
Wow, Kiki, that is amazing. And I love your shirt. That is so
Thank you.
beautiful. When I first saw it, I was just like, yeah, that inspired me because I was just like, yeah, I am enough. So I would
Absolutely.
love to have that openly to wear because a lot of people don't feel that they're enough. Some people have
Hmm.
doubts about appearances, and us as women, we're always second guessing of how we look, how
We
we feel.
are.
So this is great. This is really, really great. So I wanted to just let everybody know how I met Kiki. So Kiki was my physical therapist. I had a time in my life where I experienced having pulmonary embolism. I had two clots to my heart and I had to recover in the hospital and then I was sent home. So upon being sent home, you also get occupational health and you get physical
Hmm.
therapy to kind of help you through your healing process. And that's where I met Kiki. So she
Yeah.
used to come maybe, what was it, twice a week or three times a
Yes.
week? I think
Twice a
it was
week.
twice a
Hmm.
week. She would come in. She would help me to be able to kind of maneuver and do certain things with my body to kind of help with the healing process. So it was amazing. We definitely had good times. And so, in the process of while Kiki was here, she also was found that I was making products. And so
Hmm.
he was interested and decided, okay, you were going to give it a shot, right?
Right. It was pretty. It was laid out on the table. It was all beautiful. You had soaps and you had butters, and I was like, "Ooh, what's this?"
It was so nice. I was just like, wow. But to be honest with you, Kiki was like a first initial investment into my business. And she inspired me so much because giving it a try, you were able to just inspire me to say, okay, I'm going to give it a try and I'm going to tell you how it is. And I was so thankful because you definitely stepped in and you really gave it a shot. So, one particular product I want to talk about
Hmm.
is my yoni bar, right? So you
Ah,
started using the yoni bar. Yes, the yoni soap. And it was packaged. It was a white bar. It came a full size. So I
mhm.
did cut off a good chunk so that way you'll be able to have it to last. That's what I believe in. I don't, it's all about how you feel and how the product benefits you. So tell
Right.
me, when you bought that product, initially, all right. So before we get to that, before you actually bought the product, what were you looking for when you realized that I was selling Yoni soap? What prompted you to say I needed that bar of soap? What was going on initially?
Okay, initially I had struggled with bacterial vaginosis for a while.
Mhm.
And at first I was like, oh my gosh, can't believe I'm going through this. But a lot of women go through it. And we can get it from not only like your clothing, like the toilet paper, your clothing, sweating a lot, or intercourse. You can get it from other things. Environmental factors can play a role as well. So I was dealing with that. And I'm like, okay. And I didn't trust just putting anything you know, to wash myself. So I was like, I got to find something that I trust, something that won't cause issues because my body is very, very sensitive. Like I can feel the tiniest microscopic organism land on my hand. I'm like, oh my God, what is that? I can feel everything. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna try this soap. And I said, after this, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go bathe in the fountain of showering youth or something to cleanse myself. So I saw the soap
Mhm.
and she was like, oh, that's my yoni bar. And I said, oh, what's that? So I tried it. I was scared to death. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared to death because I'm like, oh my gosh, I do not want to go back to the doctor and say, oh, I tried this time. Because usually that was the issue, trying different soaps and it would give me a problem. So I tried the soap and I was like, this can't be true. This is a lie. And this is magic soap. Something's going on. And I had reached back out to Stacy. I said, I don't know what you've done, where you came from, but thank God for you because I haven't had issues since. And then you're talking to someone that dealt with it for months, several months. And, I thank God for you. The soap helped a lot.
Oh, wonderful. So, okay, so with trying the soap, and I know you said you were scared to death, it was initially you were afraid of the fact that you would get a reaction from trying
Hmm.
different soaps that you had before. Did you mind
Right.
telling us like some of the products you may have used before the Yoni soap?
Oh gosh, for the longest time, I used regular Dove soap. And even doctors will tell you that too. They'll tell you to use regular Dove soap,
Hmm.
the kind that's the sensitive bar. So I used that for a while, and it was working. But I got older, and as I got older, my pH started to change and adjust in different ways. So I was like, okay, well, let me try. Oh my gosh, I think I even tried. What's the soap with the you have the peppermint and the almond? Um, like a
Hmm.
Dr. Feelgood type soap. I tried that. Oh, that was immediate
Really?
reaction in like a day. Yeah, it was awful.
Right,
So I tried oatmeal bars, anything that would help still keep moisture and at the same time not wash my fluids out. So I tried
right,
almost everything, including like your vaginal douches, which ladies do not use those. Okay, do not use the douches. They really throw your balance off.
right,
And not only that, but do you want to walk around smelling like vinegar? I mean, anyway.
right, 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 right. So I do understand that. So that's what I was going to say. Like some of those products that they have out, a lot of women feel that you are supposed to use them because they're supposed to make you smell good. But I don't think we kind of understand that initially we're not supposed to smell like roses. We are okay. So let's think about this, okay? Because I know when you think about that, you're like, what? Okay, so let me just explain. Because given the fact that I have been doing this for years with the bar, and you have been a customer, well, client of mine for 3 years. This has
Yeah, it's
been
been a while.
yeah, since the pandemic. Remember? So it was
Uh-huh.
after the pandemic, I believe. So we have been with each other for a while. We have history, right?
Right.
So as I'm doing the products and getting everything together, I am basically doing my research. And as I'm going along, and I just recently took on another course where I do provide intimate waxing of all sort. You have to learn these things in your book. So as I'm reading, I'm realizing that as women, society made us believe that we have to smell like roses. Kiki, we're not supposed to smell like roses at all. Our so that's the goal that we're trying to achieve, right? Because you
Yes.
initially want to smell good. But do you know that with a pH balance, a healthy vaginal health, it either has a sour, pungent, ripe smell and
Mm-hmm.
almost like it's musty. But do you know that that's a healthy smell for us?
Oh God, a lot of women don't believe that.
They don't believe it. So then
Yeah.
you're thinking to yourself, why do I smell that way? And to believe it or not, you're healthy. So then when you get another occurrence of like a different smell outside of your normal everyday smell, like maybe something along the lines of like a fishy odor or
Mm-hmm.
something along the lines like yeasty sourdough kind of, that's when you have an initial problem. So I want to ask you,
Right.
like, anytime that you do have these occurrences, did you ever go through like having a strong smell or anything?
Yes, yeah, I had a couple occurrences of that. At that point, that's when I would reach out to the doctor. And I'm like,
Mhm,
something's not right, you know. And most women do, they know. Most women
mhm.
know because we smell ourselves. You know, I'm smelling
Right,
myself.
right,
Actually, yeah, I am smelling myself. I need to make sure I'm not smelling bad. And for those
right,
women who sit there and say they don't smell themselves, you lying. Anyway,
right,
how else are you going to know? I'd
right,
rather check
right.
myself than have somebody else tell me. But anyway, there's a couple occurrences with that where it was the like what you were saying, like the fishy,
Mhm,
whatever, whatever.
right,
And side note, ladies, just because we're talking about something that makes you feel uncomfortable doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I mean, it is
right,
us ladies up here talking. We're talking about things that we've experienced, and it's nothing to be ashamed about. We're here to help one another. So I just wanted to
right,
throw that out there.
right.
Um, yeah, there's a couple occurrences with that, and at that point, I would go to the doctor.
Okay.
And there were so many times I was going at one point where the doctor was like, well, we're going to try a cycle. We're going to try doing, you know, there's different antibiotics out there that can use. But what women don't know, when you're using these antibiotics, it creates another problem. Okay. So
Mhm,
that's
mhm.
something else that you got to think about when you're getting treated pharmaceutically with something, it creates a whole nother issue down the road. And at that point, they'll give you a pill for that and then a pill for something else down the road.
Right.
I think you know
Okay.
what I'm talking about. We're talking
Right.
about, you know, most antibiotics will cause yeast infections. And I've seen that in my patients. I'm also a physical therapist assistant. So I've also seen in my patients where they're on antibiotics and my female patients are like, hey, I'm having a lot of itching. I've noticed the odor and this and that. And I'm like, you probably have a yeast infection. And 9 times out of 10, the doctor will write a, you know, fluconazole pill, diflucan with that prescription for that purpose.
Right. And that I noticed that because I used to suffer from bacterial vaginosis quite often, especially after I had my daughter. That's when it really
Mm-hmm.
kicked up for me. So I was just like, is this the new me now? So they would, I was just like, this can't be happening. You know, when you go through life, you're like, okay, everything's guns and roses. And then you get
Right.
to having kids and your body just shifts. I mean, it just totally changed. So then I'm thinking, they gave me something which everybody knows this particular pill for bacterial vaginosis. It is Flagyl. Flagyl is like
Yeah.
the pill. You could call anywhere, you could get anywhere. Flagyl is the thing, okay? So they
Right.
would subscribe that, but then Flagyl kills everything. It just gets rid of
Yes, it
everything,
does.
right? So now your
Yep.
body's in fight or flight, and your vagina is like, wait a minute, I don't have nothing now. So now
Mhm.
you have now
Mhm.
here comes the yeast taking over. So now you're back
Yep.
at the doctor getting something for yeast and something back. Then you're back to, so it's like a roller coaster. You're back and forth and you're never, and then you have to think to yourself, am I ever healthy? Am I ever healthy? Am I ever
Right.
balanced? When?
Right. Like you said, is this the new me? You start to think that way,
Right,
you know.
right. So when
And I
you,
found
go ahead, go
I'm
ahead, go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead.
No, 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 go
I
ahead.
said I found that the a healthy pH for the vagina. Now we have different pHs. Well, like the stomach has its own pH. You know, the body has a pH, and then but the vagina has its own pH, and a healthy pH within the reproductive age would be anywhere between 3.8 or 4 to 5. That's moderately acidic. So
Mhm,
we have a moderately acidic vagina. And when something comes in, it has a nice little ecosystem that is created and a mucus to protect. our organs in our vagina, because later on we're what, giving childbirth and everything else, and it protects our vagina from bacteria, infections. And when that ecosystem has been disrupted with anything that can cause it to shift,
Right.
because of someone else's semen coming in, which is at about 7% on pH, which is alkalitic. Men are alkalitic, we're acidic. So it comes in, it changes everything. And that includes some of the, like, sweating on your clothes. The material in your clothes creates bacteria. Again, that barrier is being disrupted. So you start to have the bacterial vaginosis or yeast infection problems. So ladies, we have acidic vaginas. We
Right.
can burn a hole through anything. I'm just kidding.
No, seriously, you have to. But listen, I mean, our bodies are so unique. It just make you think. And if so if anyone's here, my platform is always showing off. So if you're in if you're on our platform tonight, go ahead and say hello so I can bring your comments up on the screen. So
Yeah,
I
say hello, ask questions,
yes,
chime in.
yes. So sometimes I have to, and sometimes it'll test it out for me to make sure that I'm, being able to see everything. Okay, here it is. Sorry, they were already talking, and here I am,
Good,
not
great.
paying
Let's hear
attention.
some of it.
All right,
Lamisha.
so
Hey, Lisa.
yep. So good stuff. Okay, great. That's Lamisha Cooper. I'm sorry, guys. That was my fault. All righty. So I have
That's
Miss
my
Janet
sister.
Johnson. Okay, hi. Hi, sister. Instead OD medicines, you can eat yogurt for the yeast infections with natural cultural cultures in it, or take a cultural. Sorry, I'm saying it's so small on my screen. Sorry, guys. So yes,
Uh,
you,
the
you
the
can do
yogurt. Yeah, that's my sister talking right there. Yeah.
Oh yay! I love it. So yogurt is
Hey,
definitely a
Roslyn.
good way. Hi. So I'm just going through the comments because they were talking to me, but here I am. I
Hey,
didn't have
Rachel. Hey,
anything showing.
Rachel.
Yep, hello. All right, so let's see here. And we have Cassandra.
Yep. Hey,
Hi
Cassandra.
Cassandra, good evening. And so we have it there. So with that, what I've realized is taking the yogurt. I used to do yogurt. I used to actually put the I listening to YouTube and different things, okay, because I'm always following YouTube. I put the yogurt inside because
I've
I
done that
thought,
too.
right. But then guess what? I ended up causing myself a bigger problem because the yogurt
Hmm.
did not agree with me on the going on the inside. So I'm just like, what did I do to myself? So when I say that we have so many challenges going back and forth as women of trying to find balance, we will literally drive ourselves crazy.
Right.
So,
Right.
did you ever have like a breaking moment when you thought that it was defeating you? Did you ever feel like it was
Yeah.
defeating you? Mhm.
Yeah, I did. When like I said before, the doctor had to write a series for me. It was a series of what was it, the clindamycin, and
Mhm.
then oh no, the metroconazole. You guys know what I'm talking about. They were in the pills, and then it'd be you take those for 7 days, and then you follow that up with the 3 days of the fluconazole for the yeast infection, and then it was like a whole cycle for like 3 months. And I
Right.
got sick of taking those pills, and my stomach was bothering me. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And then she was like, well, what if we do because there's a gel too you can use. I'm like, no, I don't want to insert anything in there. I'm good. So
Right.
I went to the younger. She was actually a nurse practitioner, and she said to me, she was like, honey, this stuff is normal for females. She said, matter of fact, instead of you coming in here all the time, she said, did you ever try using the pH suppositories that they sell at Walmart? It's a boric acid pill. And I'm like, boric acid. Like, why would I do that?
Right.
But I actually took her advice. And when I first met you, Stacy, you said the same thing. I used that pill one time.
Mhm.
I think within the last 3 years, I've used that pill twice. If something was to, be off
Right.
between
Right.
the pill, that using that pill twice and using your product, I have not had any issues. So,
Wow.
ladies, you can't do the boric acid. Hi,
Mhm.
Letitia. You can use the boric
Hi.
acid pill. Um,
Mhm.
it does work, and it's just one suppository. It helps to restore balance. It can dry you out. You could also that could also follow with the yeast infection as well, depending on the body. I never had a problem with that after it, but that is something else that you can try as well.
Oh, that's wonderful. I do trust in boric acid. I will tell you that is like my go-to. I will use it um after my menstrual because that's the time that you really get those
Mm-hmm.
that issue as soon as you get off. So now back to how men are alkaline and we're acidic. So I want to touch on that.
Correct.
So sometimes I don't even think men really understand that 70% of the time they're the reasons why we're throwing off. I don't think they understand. And it's during you can almost become allergic to your partner.
I know it sounds horrible.
Doesn't it? Doesn't it? But it's just it's a true thing. And then when you
Mhm.
have to use like the contraceptive and different things, like to kind of protect yourself from it, condoms and all of
Right.
those things, you start to get another problem because then you're maybe
Yep.
allergic to using those condoms and different things
So
to
the
kind of
latex.
protect yourself, especially the latex. So then it becomes another roller coaster. I definitely was allergic to one of my partners. It was a constant battle to the point where it took
Mhm.
away from our actual relationship sexually because I was just
Mhm.
afraid that every time I would have to go and fix myself. And before I even knew what boric acid was, to say, okay, maybe I could use this to counteract the issue. But how many times do you have to do that, depending on
Mhm.
how your sex life is? So it
Right.
just
Right.
kind of made me kind of feel that I didn't want to be in that space with someone. Did you ever feel that way?
Yeah, I had a moment with that too.
Mhm.
I was like, "What kind of soap are you using? Use this soap instead." I was, I had your bar. Use this soap instead. It was the little things. I'm like, I don't know, not tonight because I don't want to deal with that. And what I used to do was not cleanse myself afterwards, and that's a no no too,
Right.
because you don't want that stuff to fester and try to settle in. So immediately after that, you should definitely use Stacy's Adore product to cleanse yourself. And the doctors also talk about urinating after intercourse helps kill, the bacteria and the microorganisms. Yeah, urinate because your urine is toxic. So urinating after intercourse will help kill some of the bacteria in the area as well, along with using Stacy's Adore feminine wash.
I'm
I
telling you,
got to promote it because you have been a blessing to me for the past 3 years. So.
I'm so glad, Kiki, that I was able to help you conquer that because when you first came to me, I felt it was just like, okay, we're using a yoni bar, right? But every
Mhm.
woman is different. No woman is the same. And so when you were initially trying it and we got past the first segment of it about 6 months, I'm like, okay, this is basically loyalty because she definitely relies on this soap. So I was really making the soap for you, Kiki, because I knew
I feel
that
special.
yes, because really I knew for a fact that you initially had to have that soap. You had to have that soap, and I knew how it helped you because I remember you telling me that you almost thought that you had like some sort of cervical cancer because you
Yeah,
just
I
wasn't.
did.
Yeah, what made you come to that kind of thought to think that you would have went that far?
Because I was like, if my pH keeps getting thrown off like that, it's not protecting my feminine organs. And I'm like, I've got to have something going on down there. And I had a history of those precancerous cells as well. So it was a lot of stuff going on at the time where I was like, okay, is it this coming back? Is it I was afraid, okay, it's the precancerous cells? Is it, is it because my body's not producing enough white blood cells to protect itself? I thought I
Mhm.
had diabetes because I was like, oh, if I had diabetes, then my cortisol levels and sugar levels are high. So it's going to call a buildup of yeast or whatever, whatever. I had my sugar levels checked, my A1C checked. It wasn't that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have got to fix this problem. And actually, there's other things that come into play too, Stacey, which I wanted to touch on. Our metabolism plays a huge role in our body going into homeostasis. Our diet is number one because your immune system, 70% of immune systems in your gut is in your digestive system. So what we eat plays a huge role with that too. So yeah,
Mhm.
there was a point where I thought I had the cervical cancer and this, that, and the other, and I had just about ready to do a biopsy and this, that, and the other. And other women, if you're online right now, please chime in, and if you have any advice or want to share a quick tidbit on what you've gone through as well, and that would help another woman that's online tonight, that would be great.
Yeah, that
I'm
definitely will,
sorry.
because a lot of, no, you're fine. A lot of times we don't understand our body. And bacterial vaginosis, yeast infection, anything to do with the vagina is such a touchy subject. It is so how can I say, it's like almost an embarrassment when it shouldn't be, because this is something that is natural. This is what we go through. But again,
Hmm.
society has us believing that if we don't feel or smell or have certain things that are to go with that part of our body, then we're not normal, when in fact some of the
Hmm.
things that we do go through are normal. We just, because you got to
Right.
think in modern, not in this modern medicine, right? In the times where we weren't even here, how do you think that they handle situation like this? Because these things been here long before we even came about. Like, how do you think that they were able to heal it? Right? It became almost like holistic because they didn't have the medications we have now. So they had different
Right.
things to kind of help, right? I have a
Right.
comment here. Do you use yoni oil in your bar? Because I have read it helps to heal the vaginal tissues, restore pH balance, and moisturizes as well. I do have, Janet, to answer your question, I do have yoni oil, but I have that separate outside of the soap. Now, here's the key ingredient in my yoni bar: goat's milk. Just that simple. It is goat's milk. Did you ever see that on this inside of the description for the ingredients?
Yes, I did. I saw goat's milk, coconut oil, vitamin E, I believe,
Yep, sweet
everything
almond
that would
oil.
cause it wouldn't get dry. It was actually like a moisturizer,
Yeah.
if you will, along with a cleanser.
Right. So I use goat
Yeah,
milk
my
soap.
sister Janet, she's the one that wants your soap too. I told her about you. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, so I do have the yoni oil on the side, but the goat's milk is what helped. Goat's milk has so many benefits and so many properties. After any ladies that's on here tonight, when you get a chance to go and do your research, look up goat's milk. I mean, it has a list of benefits, and that's one of the main ingredients in my yoni bar to kind of help counteract the pH that, the unbalanced pH that we have. And it definitely will balance some women out. Now, some women are more sensitive than others. Like my daughter,
Right.
she really didn't agree with the yoni bar. Whatever was in it may have not agreed with her. Like I said, all women are different. I
Correct.
never, to be honest with you, I make my products, but I seldomly use it. I get the pleasure out of knowing that it helps someone else. That's a weird thing of me, right? But I put everybody else to the test. And so I decided that I wanted to create something else to kind of help with anyone else that can't use the bar could use a different product of mine, which that's how I created Adore Feminine Wash.
Hmm.
So you started to use that. So now my distributor for my bar soap, there must be having some kind of difficulties because I haven't been able to get
Hmm.
my hands on it. So I decided that, okay, I'm going to go ahead and see if Kiki would like to try this, because at one point we started to fall short of her getting her soap, right? So I said, okay, we
Right.
got to figure something out because this is something you need. So I gave you the wash. How do
Hmm.
you feel about the Adore wash? Like, what has it
Well,
done for you this
you
time?
know me, I'm skeptical at first. I put a little squirt. I was like, okay, it smells good. That could be a danger. So the okay, I'm gonna try this. And I told Stacy, because Stacy actually, she's got great bedside manner. She, if I was her patient, she's amazing. She texts me like a day, was it a day later or 2 days later? It was like, how's it going? Are you okay? I was like, I'm gonna give it another day. So
Right.
actually waited 4 days. I used it for 4 days,
Hmm.
and I said, I'm like, I'm gonna try it and I'm gonna see what happens. Girl, I was like, okay, every time I get a chance, okay, it's still good. It's still good. It's okay. Everything is good. I know I look like crazy. I was trying to figure out if it was gonna work or not. But I love it. I love the smell. I love that only need a little dab and it'll lather. I use it front, I use it for the back, and I am 100% fresh and okay. So
That's
thank you.
Yay! That is so wonderful. I was hoping, and I knew that you would definitely be a great person to advocate for the soap. I've sold the soap to many of women, but sometimes getting feedback is the hardest thing to do.
Hmm.
Everybody has their lives, they're doing different things, but it makes me feel better that I could get the feedback from you, because that's what's going to help me to be able to revamp just in case I have to try something different. And knowing what
Hmm.
you have went through, and that it was able to is another source that you can rely on outside of the soap, makes me feel 100%. So Kiki, with having your pH balance issues for over the years, and now that you're more in a confident place, what have it changed for you? Like, what are some of the things that you're able to do now that you weren't able to do before because you were so self-conscious about that?
I feel good about me. I feel okay. Like there's nothing wrong.
Mhm.
So usually it's like okay, someone's off, let me try to fix it. And so for so many years I've tried to fix it and there wasn't a fix. And now that there is a fix, I'm comfortable. Um, I'm fine with um, wearing certain underwear that are breathable, if you will, if that makes any sense.
Mhm.
Um, I'm fine with wearing leggings without underwear, know, keeping it real, because some women don't
Spicy.
wear leggings with underwear. Y'all can wear leggings without underwear, and it's
Right.
breathing, it's free.
Right.
And I'm comfortable keeping it real. So
Right.
yeah, I feel better about me. I feel like I'm healthy because that's part of that's my root. I
Mhm.
feel healthy.
Mhm.
Um, yeah. So
That's
that's
wonderful.
what the reproductive. Rosalind, help me out here. Is it the root or the sacral? She's into the chakras and everything. I'm hoping she's still listening. If
Oh,
someone knows, I
wonderful.
can't remember what
Right.
it is, but the reproduction,
Mhm.
that's part of who we are as women. Then that's a whole nother topic with who we are as women going into perimenopause. But anyway,
Right. Okay, we definitely will touch on that. I have a question for you. So, with your relationships, have you ever felt like insecure from within, or did you invite your mate into this when you ever had this issue going on? Did you invite them in to kind of better understand what you were going through? Or did you deal with it alone? Because sometimes when we have these things, I'm a person that likes to hide. So if I'm using my boric acid, I'm wrapping it up in tissue. I'm putting it deep down in the
yeah,
trash because I just don't need nobody. I'm like, look, you don't need to know what's going on here. I don't need you knowing this is what I'm doing. Or if I do
right.
have like a yeast infection or something and I have to cure it, I have to hide things because I'm just so private about it, and it just makes me leery.
Hmm.
Because sometimes men are not so open to understanding this. Did you ever feel like you had to hide?
Um, in the past, yes, I felt like I had to hide because I thought it was an embarrassment.
Mm-hmm.
But since honestly, since I've been using your product, I haven't had to hide anything because I don't deal with it like that anymore. It's very minimal. Like I don't even worry about it. I may make a comment like, for example, oh, I'm gonna buy this shower gel. Let me see the ingredients. Is it paraben free? Is it aluminum free? What's it made with? Because that's my way of saying, hey, whatever you put on you can end up on me. So that's my subtle way of saying, I need to protect this and you need to help me protect this, if that's making sense.
Right.
But as far as being open with it, I haven't had to because since I've used your product, honestly, I've been okay. Every
That
now and
is
then it might be a little whatever, but it's not something major. Like I said, I think I've used the pH pills twice in the last 3 years. So yeah, thankfully I haven't really had to hide anymore.
right.
But just in case if I go on a trip, I like you, I'll wrap it up in a little tissue or something just in case
Right.
something didn't go well with the swimming pool or whatever it
Right.
may be. But no, I don't have to hide anymore thanks to your help. So
That's wonderful. And the great part about it is with pH, it's not a STD. Okay, let's just
Correct.
make that clear. It's
Correct.
not an STD or STI, how they're saying it. It is a common issue that women go through. And I wish that sometimes it's the ignorance of not knowing that anything can throw it
Hmm.
off. It doesn't necessarily have to just be intercourse. You can have a
Correct.
menstrual cycle and use the wrong sanitary napkins and it will throw you off. You can wear the wrong underwear
Correct.
and it can throw you off, you know? Did you feel more of your effects after your menstrual or before your menstrual? Or are you still going? Do you go through that now?
Um, Actually, no, not right now. When I go through my menstrual, there's still nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and yeah, I smell that too to make sure there's no odor or anything,
Right.
because some of us use pads, some of us use tampons,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to be careful with those too, because you don't want to use anything with a scent to it. You're inviting issues into the vaginal area. Don't use
Mm-hmm.
anything with a scent. That can cause problems as well, but not with my menstrual. And I wanted to back it up. You said that you would use the pH after your menstrual. Well, our blood is actually alkalinic. So our
Mm.
body needs to, yeah, our bleeding causes the blood is alkalinic. So there it is again, that mixture of trying to disrupt the eco balance in the vagina with the acidic environment, and then your bleeding is
Mm-hmm.
alkalinic. So now your body metabolism revs up to try to cleanse it up and protect it, and that's why eating comes into play. Your diet comes into play with healing. It's all full circle.
Mm. Well, I did not know that. So our blood is actually alkaline.
Hmm.
Wow. So that's interesting to know. And see, because you're on the holistic side of things, you actually understand that's how our body functions. So I have another comment here. I had a bad reaction with the honey pot pads. They messed me up terrible. You know
Mm.
what? Honey pot. I've heard that some of the products from Honey Pot, because I had a previous show, and one of the guests said that she uses Honey Pot. I used Honey Pot
Hmm.
one time, and when I did use the Honey Pot, what happened was it actually burned. It was burning. It was like
Oh
burning.
wow.
So, did you ever use Honey Pot?
I used honey pot twice,
Mm-hmm.
and it I want to say it wasn't like a burn. It was almost like a peppermint patty. It was cold and hot. So yeah, and I use the sensitive brand because they have a sensitive brand for
Mm-hmm.
the honey pot, and I didn't like the way it felt. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't either. I can't get that sensation. Now they do say it help with cramps. And
Okay.
it does help with minimizing cramps, but for me, I just can't do it. So Kiki, with that said, you said that
Hmm.
you were going through a premenopausal moment in your life. Let me see. I have another comment. Hold on a second. They had
Okay.
me itching first time I tried honey butter products. Listen, that was from Janet. I understand. It's definitely not a pleasing feeling at all. It's not a pleasing feeling. It,
Hmm.
it is itchy, it burns. And I said, some women die by this product. And I'm like, well, what experience are you getting that I'm not getting? So I
Right.
just feel bad. So when you actually, um, you said that you're going through premenopausal, what is that like for you? Does that affect your pH as well?
Yes, it does. It does. And I think that was kind of what I was dealing with. And ladies, a lot of this is genetics. So definitely talk to your mom if your mom is still living or in the family of how her body was. For example, my mother went through menopause at the age of 40. Usually women don't hit menopause until late 40s, 50 years old. And the perimenopause stage, which is what I'm experiencing, is supposed to be between the mid 40s to early 50s. And what I learned was we have estrogen and progesterone in our body. We also have testosterone too, but progesterone and estrogen, right? So estrogen and all that stuff helps us. I have my notes here. Hold on. Helps us with our reproductive system, with our ovaries, this, that, and the other, childbearing ages. That's what we have the estrogen in our body for. And the progesterone balances that estrogen. Well, what I have figured out was as we age, okay, as we age, um, your progesterone hormone starts to decrease. So does your estrogen. However, not as much as you would think. Otherwise, we're still having a estrogen dominance in our body, meaning the estrogen is still there and it's still a heck of a lot more than the progesterone. Now, I'm going to yell out a couple of symptoms for you for um, a dominant estrogen body. And some of us probably have this already, even if you're in your mid 30s to mid 40s. Weight gain, number one. And did you know that fat stores toxins and excess hormones in the body? So, got to get rid of excess fat, ladies. But estrogen dominance includes weight gain in the hips or like around the waist area, depression. Um, this is for later osteoporosis, but I'm going on women my age and a little bit younger. Mood swings, which we get all the time. Infertility, hot flashes. Okay. Those things are real. I just started experiencing those like a month ago. It's crazy. It's like being in an oven 1 minute and then standing in Antarctica the next. Low sex drive, fluid retention, retaining water, fingers feeling tight, toes feeling tight, headaches, hair loss, fatigue, insomnia, not being able to sleep at night, night sweats, vaginal dryness is part of excess estrogen dominance. Tearfulness, foggy thinking, incontinence. Incontinence can work both ways. That means that you can't hold your urine, or when you got to go, you got to go. Sleep disturbances, aches and pains, fibromyalgia. These are all the things on the list to say that your estrogen levels are higher. They're dominant in your body. Sugar cravings. Did you guys know that sugar is like the worst thing that we could have in our body? Like spikes our insulin, and insulin being secreted in your body inhibits fat burning. But yeah, I learned all that those symptoms, I was experiencing those. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. I'm only 43 years old and I'm experiencing these perimenopause symptoms. No one talks about it. No one wants to go over it. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you, Lamisha. No one wants to go to talk about that, but it's real stuff. So yeah, I'm
Absolutely.
experiencing now.
Okay. Are
I
you
do have
running
some
down?
ways.
Oh, sorry. Are
My
you
life
running
story
down
right now.
my list? And that's something
Listen,
like going
ladies, if
back
you're
to
over 40,
Lamisha.
you're gonna be feeling what I'm feeling.
Yes, I definitely
Yeah.
feel like I'm dealing with that now. And you know what's that's crazy because a lot of times, like I'm 40 now, okay,
Hmm.
and when it seems like I went from 39 to 40, and then 40 kicked in, and everything started happening. So I'm like, wait a minute, let's go
Yes.
back to 39 to where I was functioning normally because 40 kicked in, and now everything is starting to be, off. Like I've even experienced recently, having bleeding after intercourse. So I thought
Mm.
to myself, what the heck is going on with my body? So right now I'm in the process of finding out what's going on. And you know me, I'm in my Google mind. Oh my God, I got cervical cancer. I'm
Hmm.
gonna die. What's going
Oh
on?
God, don't do that. You become a hypochondriac.
Yes. So it became like a rigmarole for me almost because I'm trying to number down the things that I have to do. And then my menstruals are starting to become worse. And then my pH
Yep.
balance is off even more. So I'm starting to
Hmm.
experience different things and different smells. And I'm like, what is this? My body's out of control. Do you believe that that has to do with the estrogen levels in our body?
Yes, I think so. I think so. Now, do you know anything about your mom? Did she go through menopause early? Does she have any of those problems with the menstrual cycles being all over the place? Does she have those problems too?
Kiki, my mom is a robot. Nothing ever happens to her. I mean, this lady has never had, I don't even think she's been cured for a yeast infection. I don't think she's ever had bacteria.
Wow.
She's been through tons of health issues and she's still managing. She's on tons of medication as we speak, and nothing's throwing her off. I'm almost thinking that she's like ebonic almost, because she doesn't, we don't know about the health issues until now because she's just going through it at her age. And I said
Mm-hmm.
to myself, we wouldn't have known because either she hid them from us and we didn't know, or she just didn't have these issues. So now in our,
Right,
see,
right.
skip the generation. So now
Mm-hmm.
me and my sister are going through the effects of different things, and we're like, what is going on? We're constantly talking about this happened, trying to figure out, we're constantly at each other's doctor's appointments when we're on the phone. So I'm just wondering, because now she's in her mid 30s. And like I said, I hit 40 and the world of chaos came down on me. So
Oh gosh, yes.
I'm trying to figure out if that has to do with the estrogen, and it does throw off your pH, that estrogen level, that hormonal imbalance.
Yeah, yeah, this is exactly what it is. And you're right. When we get a certain age, it does the like I said, the progesterone decreases, which causes everything to be progesterone causes a balance but in our bodies with the
Mhm.
estrogen. It calms the estrogen down. And I learned that our ovaries create estrogen, fat creates the estrogen, and so does our adrenal glands. So and that excess fat, I can't stress enough how bad it is to have extra fat on our bodies because toxins and those excess hormones are stored there. They dock there. They hang out there, and they're just chilling. So the ways that we can combat dealing with it's called estrogen dominance because we still lose the estrogen as we age, but it's still dominant in our body. Ergo, the symptoms that I just named, and that was just to name a few. I got like 40 of them, a whole list. And after a while, you'll probably be 20 years old, like, oh my God, I'm going to have an estrogen dominance issues. But anyway, to combat all that though, and to help those ladies that are listening, and if you are experiencing some of those symptoms and you are over 40, um, you can do green tea. Green tea helps with metabolism and is an antioxidant. Um, getting rid of the bad fats. Now, good fats are wonderful. Like your avocado oils, your MCT oils, your coconut oils, olive oils, um, almonds are good for you. Those flax seeds, those are good for you. Fiber. People usually talk bad against fiber. Fiber helps with metabolism, helps with satiety, meaning feeling full, and it helps with digestion. I can't stress enough how much 70% of your immune system, your body's way to heal and replenish itself, is in your gut. It's in what you're eating. So it is true, you are what you eat. Another way to combat the estrogen dominance or to slow the process or get rid of those that are chilling in the body is fiber. Like I said, fiber, decreasing the fat in your body. I'm looking at my list here. Soy, soy. Some people are allergic to soy, but soy also helps with that too.
Mhm.
So those are a few things that you can look into. Relaxation, getting sleep. There's a thing called chromium to keep your blood sugar levels low. That's a mineral that helps. Cinnamon help is good for the blood. Then you
Mhm.
also have, um, I'm sorry, I just had a quick brain fog. That is actually on the list that I missed
Right.
of the estrogen dominance and being over 40. But a lot of it boils down to, Stacey,
Mhm.
is our eating and keeping our hormones level under control, our sugar levels under control, keeping it low. Not that you can't have carbs, but have them in moderation, timing when you're eating them. Sweet potatoes are great for fiber and they're
Mhm.
great for hormonal balancing. Um, yeah, green leafy vegetables, your cruciferous vegetables will definitely help with that as well. So, yeah,
Mhm.
holistic nutrition.
Right. That would be great because I feel like when I eat too much breads, that's when I'm off. And I could actually smell, like, through my urine and different things that I do, that I had overdid it with the
Wow.
bread this week, because that's what affects our pH. So you're right about, we are what we eat. And so it definitely, it takes all of the things that we do to our bodies can definitely can harm us more than it can help us. Sounds like we need to detox, clean out, and work out.
Yes, ma'am. So,
Absolutely.
Lamisha, with that being said, yes, it is to the liver. A lot of things filter through the liver. So, definitely get some type of liver detox. At least do a detox. Some people do it once a year, some people do it every 6 months, once a quarter, whatever. But your
Right.
liver is filtering all that stuff out. And once it gets backed up a little bit, it's going to start storing stuff in your body. So definitely find some type of teas or anything for a detox. I know organics liver detox makes it. Milk thistle is good for a liver detox, but it's definitely warranted that we need to do that at least once a year to cleanse our liver so that it can get our hormones back in balance and everything else.
That is such good information. Great, great information. Now, you said that you have a business of Whole New You, holistic nutrition and wellness. So, what do you have
Correct.
to offer for your business that anyone could take advantage of or come to Kiki about? How can they find you if they have any additional questions about how to control this pH going on?
Yeah. I offer personal training. I do virtual. My main and biggest thing, I love teaching classes. I love personal training, but I also love helping people with their diet. I do nutrition consultation, coaching, and it's person centered. So it's not a blanketed or general diet that I would give everybody because everyone's different. And like whatever you're going through may not be what I'm going through or anybody else. So I'm person centered when it comes to nutrition and diet consultation, as well as like your workout. Like I do personal training. I recently moved, but I still come down to the area, so I still do training. I do make personal training videos.
Mhm.
I offer me, but mostly just the nutrition consultation, dieting, and personal training. I still teach classes, do group classes, one on one, you
Mhm.
name it. And when I'm offering my motivational T-shirt, I am enough. And the heart is because we need to love ourselves. And for many years, I didn't love myself. I didn't think I was good enough, smart enough, pretty enough that I couldn't do it. And my heart bled on the inside and nobody can see it. And I said, well, if I'm going to bleed, I'm going to bleed to let myself know that I am enough and I'm everything God made me to be. And I am wonderful and fearfully
Right.
made. And I want all women to know that they are everything and they're wonderful and fearfully made. And everything that they need to be successful is inside of them.
Look at that. That is so beautiful. I love it, Kiki. So, how can we
Thank
get a
you.
shirt? How can we purchase this lovely? Is it just
Okay.
shirts or hoodies? Like, how can we purchase it?
They're hoodies. Now this, I'm gonna stand up. This is a cut off. This one's a cut off hoodie.
Oh,
I'm
that's
just
cute.
trying to show you.
I
This one's a cut
like
off,
crop tops.
but hey, I do have the full hoodies as well. So it is print on demand. I print them myself. So if you want a hoodie, if you want to contact me in any way for my services, you can reach me at fitness242 at yahoo.com. That's FITNESS. The number is 242 at yahoo.com. Connect with me. Tell me your name, what you're interested in. If you want a hoodie, let me know your hoodie size, your color. I need your address. And we'll go from there. If you want to become a client or want to get more connected with me, then
Mhm,
we'll exchange phone numbers and that type of information. But tonight, the
mhm.
hoodies are originally $35. And if you put in an order tonight, they're on sale for $25. But definitely email me, fitness242 at yahoo.com.
All right. You said fitness242 at yahoo.com. I'm putting it in the
Yes.
chat, ladies, so that way you can get it.
Thank you.
Contact her. Hopefully, is it going in the chat? Oh, there it is. Okay. So you can contact her by email. Kiki is wonderful. Like I said, she knew me in the beginning. For those that just came on, and I had a comment, she said, Amen. Yes, amen to that, because we do have to love ourselves. But she met me when I had my pulmonary embolism. I had two clots to the heart, and she was my physical therapist. And that's how we built our bond. We've been 3 years strong.
Mm-hmm.
And she's been supporting my products and she has been a loyal customer. I love her to death. And so she definitely
Thank
believes in
you.
my products.
Thank
She's
you.
very encouraging. And so I figured tonight would have been a very good show for her to go ahead and, just express what she has to offer and the things that she went through, because we're not, now you make us feel like we're not alone. Because, like I said,
Right.
this having these pH balance issues, you're walking around, you're always subconscious. I mean, you're like checking. I'm always checking. And that's like the main thing. So you get to actually be able to kind of help us to be like, you know what, it's not that serious. We're going to work through it and get through it. So
Mm-hmm.
before I
Mm-hmm.
let you go, Kiki, because we have definitely unplugged tonight, what would you leave our ladies with tonight?
I'm gonna leave our ladies with tonight. First of all, thank you, Stacey. I appreciate you for allowing me to do this. Ladies, her product, trust me, and I'm not just saying it because she's here, has helped me in a, a tremendous amount. You have no idea. So definitely look into her body wash. It's called, her vaginal wash is called Adore. It smells wonderful, and you will definitely adore it. Secondly, ladies, thank you for chiming in and giving your responses. I saw Misha, Janet, Rosalind, Cassandra. Thank you guys for chiming in. Rachel. Oh, thank you, sweetie. She's sucking up
Kiki
because that's
is
my
an
sister. I
awesome
love you,
person,
baby.
excellent fitness instructor, and a great big sis too. Oh yeah, she is. I love her. I'm sorry, she's my girl, and I was
Thank
like, yes.
you.
But yes, you said that you had to.
But ladies, just yeah, ladies, love you, love yourself. Self care is everything, including your vaginal health, your holistic health. Try to exercise more, encourage one another more. Don't compare yourself to anyone because your story is not someone else's story, and your time is not someone else's time. So encourage one another, encourage yourself first, eat healthier. Try to eat a salad a day if you can, or 2 or 3 times a week. Go for a walk, take a hot bath, light some candles, give yourself a hug, and remember you are enough.
Absolutely. So don't forget to contact Kiki to get your t-shirt. I'm going to invest in mine very soon. I'm going to get one for my daughter so she can have that as well. And thank you so much for Cassandra, everyone that tuned in tonight. It was a really great show. We learned a lot. We unplugged a lot, and you really helped us kind of understand how the body works. I will have another show coming on in 2 weeks, which is Mommy versus Self Care. We have a special guest that is coming on to talk about all the fun things she's able to do and to be a mom at the same time. How do you give yourself back self care? So, if you want to tune in, please tune in. That will be in the second week of November. I will go ahead and put that on my page. You can go ahead and follow my YouTube page, which is Unplug, Pillow Talk Unplug. And we will be able to see the live stream. If you missed it tonight, you'll be able to go on and watch it in a couple of days. Thank you, Afton, for tuning in. Yes, thank you. It was definitely a nice
Thank
show.
you,
Kiki, you did
Ashton.
awesome. All right, guys.
Thank
Well,
you,
you have
Stacey. Love you,
definitely,
hon.
I love you too. You have definitely been unplugged. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Bye.
Bye.